Hey guys, Girly Driver here. Okay, I wanted to tell you about my experience taking Uber the other day. Now that I've been driving for a couple of months, I wanted to share with you some of the feedback that I had regarding my experience with driving with her. Okay, so I had to go to the airport, and my flight was really early. So I was actually really concerned that there wasn't going to be an Uber in my area about 4 o'clock in the morning when I needed her or him or whoever. I got online and everything was fine. There were actually several cars in the area, which really surprised me. But it was a Friday morning, so no issues with availability. Traditionally, I actually drive around those times and get massive surges, but there wasn't any, so that's fine. My first impressions, okay, so the estimate to get to me from her was 11 minutes, and it took her about 14 to 15 minutes to get there. So I'm wondering if she just had her phone on at home and wasn't ready and it took her longer because there was absolutely no traffic out. And sometimes I do that too, but I am literally standing by the door, ready to go out and jump out and get my keys. So I'm really going to rethink that. I really think that we should be in our cars or already driving around before we go online, because if I was running late or, if something had happened, that 4 to 5 minutes of her being late in my late, really could have cost me some time, and that wouldn't have been good. So I know that sometimes things delay us as drivers, and that's to be understood, but I did think it was a noticeable, discernible difference from the estimated time versus when she actually picked me up. Okay, so that was the first thing. It's something to think about. So then she rolled up, which was fine. She did not even attempt to get out and help me with my luggage. She just popped the trunk for me and let me do it. That's fine, but just a reminder, we are in the service industry and this is a service. And so her, not helping me with my luggage pretty much nixed the tip. I definitely was going to tip her because I always appreciate getting tipped, but it was not, I was not impressed with that. First impressions in the car, there was a smell. She said that she rented that car from Uber, and she leased the car with one of their carriers, and it smelled like bad, like mothballs, old clothing, old furniture, maybe like a musty house that hadn't been aired out in a while. It was not pleasant. I mean, it wasn't something you even got used to. It was kind of stinky. So my thought is that we should carry a can of Febreze in our cars and just kind of be done with that, because that was pretty preventable. Maybe a leather seat wash down and then some Febreze onto the carpets, every other ride or something. I didn't tell her I was a driver. I didn't think that was necessary, but I did ask her what she thought about Uber and what she thought about driving with Uber. And she told me that she liked it. She liked the flexibility. She was a single mom. She also told me that she drives a lot. I did notice that her rating was a 4.9. But his is what's really interesting. Okay, so her rating was a 4.9, and she does drive a lot more than me, so she probably, the fours and, anything less than a five probably doesn't impact her as much as it impacts me, because I only drive so often. Like, I only drive like 5 to 10 trips a week, maybe. But anyway, she didn't offer water, she didn't offer candy, she didn't offer charger, she didn't offer any of the things that I've been doing, and yet she still had a really high rating, so I thought that was interesting. She wasn't particularly friendly, but she wasn't particularly cold either. She answered my questions and then she stopped talking. She didn't ask me questions or she didn't try to engage. So I guess to most people that's neutral, but I guess I would have preferred a little bit more of an engagement. But it was early in the morning, so maybe she was just trying to leave me alone. I don't know. She did not like Uber Eats. She mentioned that she did it a few times. It's actually not available in our area very often. So she said that folks didn't tip and that's why she didn't like it, and she just wasn't sure. The food wasn't ready a couple of times when she went, and so that wasn't cool, and she didn't like that. So anyway, overall, and then when we got to the airport, I hopped out of the car. I thanked her for her time. And then I went and she popped the trunk and I went to get the luggage. And by the time I got the luggage out, she finally got out of the car to help me with my luggage. And so I was just like, I got it. Have a good day. So I thought that overall was very strange that she didn't want to help me with my luggage and then sort of feigned an attempt at the end. And really, at the end of the day, it's not a big deal and I can move on with my life. But truly, it's a service. She should have helped me and she would have definitely gotten a tip and it would have been fine. But I wasn't particularly impressed with all of it, particularly with the smelly car. I did give her 5 stars at the end of the day because I don't feel like she did anything wrong. She doesn't have to help me with my luggage, but and the car smell, she probably can't even smell it. So, unless I'm like particularly offended or have a bad experience, I'm not going to rate a driver lower than a 5 because I realize how much it can impact us and our livelihood. So I don't want to do any of that. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you guys. If you don't, if you're a driver and you don't take Uber very often, just take one. Take one to, go get some dinner, so or whatever. Just do something small so that you can kind of just assess of, how other people are doing things and just your experiences. And, we're all about learning. I'm all about learning. I want to have a teachable spirit and I want to learn and I want to grow in this area. So anyway, this has been a long video, but I just want to share with you my impressions of my latest Uber ride. And I did a video to a shout out to Lamisha because she gave me a referral fee, and I actually used some of that when I went over. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Sunday, and I will check in later. Thanks.